next few segments, we will talk about the most common injuries in downhill skiing. The most common of all is to have an anterior cruciate ligament tear, or an ACL tear. The ACL is a ligament on the inside of the knee that controls the lower bone of your leg, the tibia, from sliding forward or rotating too much. This really creates a great amount of stability about your knee. And those mechanics are going to be the exact same way that you would tear an ACL. There are really three major mechanics in skiing that can tear an ACL. The first is like other sports. If the foot gets stuck and the leg rotates too much, the ACL is going to tear. And because we have a long ski on our foot, this is more likely to happen in skiing than it is in other sports. The second type of injury that you'll hear a whole lot about is the phantom foot phenomenon. And this is when a skier is in the back seat, either laying back on the snow or sitting back, and the tall, rigid ski boot is pushing forward on that tibia against the ACL. It doesn't take much rotation or angulation of the knee or an unexpected bump to then tear that ACL. The final way to tear your ACL in skiing is to come down from a jump and be in that same back seat with the boot pushing forward on that ACL. There was a study that was done among professional skiers, and they tracked these skiers over the course of training and competing throughout the season. And the researchers found that these skiers' ACLs loosened over the course of a season, and they took away from it that this may mean people are more likely to tear their ACLs later in the ski season. I think we can apply this to our instructors, our patrollers, and our 100-day skiers who are out there day in, day out skiing, taking little bumps and bruises and possibly loosening their ACL over the course of the season. We may be more likely to tear our ACLs later in the season because of that loosening, and also as the snow quality starts to deteriorate in the warmer months. Through this course, we're going to teach you some exercises that you can and should be doing to prevent injuries, including ACL tears. One myth that we would love to dispel, that we hear all the time from people, is the only way to prepare for skiing is by skiing. And this is simply untrue. These exercises have been proven to reduce ski injury. But should you find yourself in the unfortunate situation of having an ACL tear, the research does have some good news for you as well. The best research out there indicates that 1/3 of people are able to go on with their lives, all their activities, and all their sports without an ACL. There's plenty of examples in American professional sports of people continuing at an elite level without an ACL in one or both knees. The research also says 1/3 of people are able to go on with a satisfactory life with some modification to their activities. In skiing, these modifications might look like someone needing to wear a knee brace to keep inflammation down in their knee as they ski without an ACL, or possibly reducing the number of days that they ski in a year. And finally, the research says 1/3 of people absolutely need an ACL to go on with their lives. These people will continue to have an unstable knee and be unable to go on with their activities of daily living. The international standard is to wait 6 weeks after an ACL tear before making a decision about whether you should have an ACL reconstruction or not. In that 6 weeks, you would have physical therapy, working on progressing your strength, bringing down your swelling, working on your balance, and maybe even progressing towards jumping. I wouldn't necessarily expect that you would be completely recovered in 6 weeks, but you'd have a better idea of whether you're headed in the right direction of being able to recover and live and do your sports without an ACL, or whether your knee is remaining unstable, swollen, painful, and that you need to be considering having an ACL reconstruction. Those who would advocate for ACL reconstruction right away would say that if you live a life without an ACL, you're more likely to get osteoarthritis in your knee. But the research shows that even if you have surgery, you're more likely to develop osteoarthritis over the next couple decades. So I would say the two paths of having surgery or not, as long as you get all your function back from that knee, the results are relatively comparable.